Okay, on this video, I'm going to go through the carbon footprint problem from chapter 10. Okay, and again, as always, I'm going to do a pretty cursory look at this to show you the techniques. Your program should be a lot more fleshed out. Okay, but this should give you the ideas if you're having trouble. Okay, so the idea behind this problem is we're supposed to create an interface. Okay, an interface is going to be, it allows us to collect together a series of otherwise not related classes and give them some common feature. Okay. In this case in particular, all that we have to worry about is we want to create this get carbon footprint method. Okay. We want to obligate all of the classes that are part of that implement this interface have to create this function, and they can do it however they want to do it. Okay. I'll say that I did a pretty quick Google for some carbon footprint formulas. Super complicated. I mean, it's a very complex field. So I just really just made up stuff. Okay, which is fine. I told you in class you could do it. I told you in the videos you could do that. Okay. So what I decided to do, I decided to create an automobile class and a building class, both of which were going to implement this carbon footprint interface. Okay. And again, from within Eclipse, you can do interface right from here. Okay, you can also do the enumerations we've done before. Okay, so if not, you would just change the word public class, carbon footprint, public interface, carbon footprint. Okay, then when I go to create the automobile class, I'm going to say it implements the carbon footprint. And just like we saw with abstract classes, this now has an obligation to implement this public double get carbon footprint. And if you don't, then it's going to cause trouble. Okay. And I tried over here to say that I'm going to be in terms of 1 mile traveled. That's just foolishness. Because that's okay for cars. Doesn't make any sense on buildings. Buildings don't travel typically. So I'm just going to say I'm just making up the numbers. Okay. So over here, for my car, I'm just going to have the make, the model, and the MPGs, miles per gallon. This really, this needs to be more fleshed out. Okay, I need to have some accessors and mutators, at least some accessors for these. And it makes my test function not very useful. Okay, which we'll see in a second. But this is to give you the idea. So then I have to put a constructor in there. So I've done that with the make, model, and the MPGs. And then I'm just calling the carbon footprint equal to the MPG. Okay, a really bad calculation, but whatever. Okay. Then for the building, same kind of a deal here. I'm going to implement the carbon footprint again. This time I'm adding a double called the square footage, the square feet of the building. And then the constructor just does that. And then I'm just saying the square feet times 0.0123, which is a number I totally made up out of thin air. I'm going to call that the carbon footprint. Okay. For this process, it doesn't matter. Okay. So now, even though automobile and building, and again, this needs to have some accessors at least. Okay. And probably a name of the building or an address or something. This is super bare bones to prove a point. Okay. But these two things have nothing in common. Okay. As far as any hierarchy. But since they implement the carbon footprint, we're not saying the automobile is a carbon footprint or the building is a carbon footprint or that the building and the automobile are in any way related, except they share this interface. Okay. So when I go to test it, then I'm going to create an automobile here with this line, Honda Civic 39.5, made up number, probably not too far from wrong. Building B1 is a new building that's 20,000 feet. Okay, 20,000 square feet. Okay. Then I tried to go through and print out what kind of car it was, the Honda and the Civic, but since I didn't make any accessor functions, I can't get to those. They're private data. So all I can do from here is just print out the get carbon footprint of the automobile and the building. Okay. They both use the same get carbon footprint function, and you run it, and here's what you get at the bottom. Okay. Again, yours, you want to have your classes be more fully fleshed out. This was like a first run at this, just to give you the ideas. Okay. As always, if you have any questions, make sure that you let me know.